Hi, welcome to the module on applying the competitive model. So this chapter and module look at demand and supply curves and use the demand and supply curves to answer questions concerning the consumer benefit from making a purchase, the producer benefit from making a purchase. And we also will examine in this module what happens when the government puts in price controls, how this impacts consumers and producers and their welfare. And we'll also look at the implication from taxes and how that impacts consumers and producers' well-being. So this chapter first starts with an examination of consumer welfare, and the term we use for consumer welfare is consumer surplus. And what is consumer surplus? This is a dollar amount attached to each purchase or a service that's provided to consumers and the benefit they get when they purchase that item or consume that service. And then we'll also talk about the producer welfare measure called producer surplus. And just like consumers get a benefit when they make a purchase, producers also get a benefit when they sell you an item, either a good or a service. And together, producer and consumer benefits are termed jointly, they're termed total surplus or the total welfare when a good or service is purchased. So then we pivot to competitive markets, and we'll show you why competitive markets will maximize this total surplus welfare measure. And then we'll move on to governmental policies. And these government policies mentioned previously, including limit the number of firms, how that impacts the overall welfare, and also when the government does a policy that causes a wedge to be placed between buyers and sellers. And we'll use taxes as the example here of this wedge. We'll show you how that impacts consumers' welfare and producer welfare. So that's what's on tap. A lot of demand and supply, a lot of graphs. We've already seen these concepts before. We've seen price controls, we've seen taxes, we've seen demand and supply. Now we're putting them together on the graph and showing you these areas that the consumer benefits, that the producer benefits, you add them up, there's a total benefit, and how these areas are impacted when the government gets involved in the market. Interesting stuff, glad you could be a part of it. Take a look at the chapter. There's got lots of videos as usual on these topics, and I think you'll find this helpful in learning the material. Good luck.